as well. But let's go back to radar. Let's take a tour through the region. As of right now, this Amarillo storm has just now been severe warned for some half-dollar sized hail and some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Bushland just picked up on the heaviest of the rain. You heard me earlier talk about that boundary. You can see that boundary kind of being picked up by this green line right here. Once these storms pass those boundaries, they will likely intensify very quickly. So Amarillo, this is the time to take cover. You don't want to be outside in half-dollar sized hail. When we first started to see the funnel clouds start to tighten up a little bit, that rotation started to tighten up and the tornadoes started to drop down closer to the ground. That's when we progressed southwestward on Highway 15. And unfortunately, we caught ourselves in a bit of the wind field of the tornado. Not in the actual tornado, but a good bit in the wind field. That's when we saw very, very heavy rain and very large hail as well. We were seeing maybe golf ball to baseball sized hail hitting the ground, and we currently have cracks in our News Channel 10 Atlas windshield because of it. Luckily, we were able to get out of that, and we kept tracking the tornado. We went through the city of Perryton. Initially, we were here for about 15 to 20 minutes and already just saw lots of damage within the city. And like Sheldon Brashears was saying earlier, likely multiple tornadoes that formed within this system, maybe 2 or 3 tornadoes, still waiting to get an official report from the National Weather Service. But we headed toward Canadian, then the severe threat exited the area, so we came back to Perryton to kind of assess the damage, and I'll give you another shot of what we are seeing right now. This is a cell tower in downtown Perryton. Maybe a little bit hard to see from this perspective, but it is completely twisted and hunched over 180 degrees, so think about how powerful the winds just had to be. About 20 to 30 miles per hour, and then picking up even more, probably peaking at about 4 or 5 o'clock at about 25 to 35. Could be talking about some gusts close to 50 to 55 at some points. Luckily, though, it's not going to be a long-lasting event. By Tuesday night into Wednesday, it will calm right back down. But due to that southwesterly direction, we will majorly dry out. Those relative humidity values down to close to 10%. With that drier air settling in, that is once again going to increase the fire risk and bring in the possibility for some blowing dust. Red flag warning issued for everybody, highlighted in pink here. This is kind of the setup that we are seeing. A low pressure system going just to our north during Tuesday and Wednesday, kicking up that dry wind from the west and the southwest. But we do also have our eye on late in the week. I know a lot of viewers are going to enjoy this outlook. We have another storm system potentially parking itself just to the west of us. If it can stay on this track and this speed, this would funnel in a lot of moisture here into the Texas Panhandle and maybe bring some significant rain chances for multiple days. Right now, we're looking maybe Friday, Saturday into Sunday that we would see some rain settle over the Texas Panhandle and there. No widespread flood risk by any means, but some ponding on the roadway is definitely not out of the question. Temperatures right now are pretty chilly, though, down into the upper 30s and low to mid 40s. I've talked about it a few times today. It's going to be one of those days where it's simply too warm to support any widespread wintry precipitation, but too cold simultaneously to support any stormy activity. That's snow showers here for the next couple of hours. But as far as Amarillo goes, we are dry right now, but if you go outside and look outside toward the west, it's going to be some very dark skies. Actually, a couple of pretty potent storms just to our west. The most potent of the storms just to the north of Bushland. A lot of lightning associated in it, so probably some loud thunder as well. This is a live shot overlooking downtown Amarillo, looking toward the west. Some pretty ominous looking skies as of right now. Now, it does look like that particular storm is going to miss Amarillo. It's going to go to the northwest of us. Light rainfall, but there is a stronger storm that is currently making its way into Pittsylvania County. In fact, I've kind of timed this out with what you can expect. It does look like all of you in Danville, you're going to miss out on the strongest of that storm. Still could pick up on some moderate showers, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder, but the strongest of the storms will eventually make its way into Blair's and eventually Chatham here within the next 30 to 45 minutes. Now, the good news is it was severe warned about 30 minutes ago, but not severe warned anymore. Those gusty winds have diminished a little bit down to about 45 to 50 miles per hour, but still could pack a punch with a lot of lightning and some heavy downpours. This is officially Tropical Storm Francine. Sustained winds at about 65 miles per hour. See that swath of heavy rain out ahead of it, and you see the eye just now starting to form over the past couple of hours. This is going to form over some very warm waters and likely intensify here over the next 24 hours. Right now, still down to a tropical storm status with winds at 65 miles an hour. Can't officially call it a Category 1 until those sustained winds reach 74 miles an hour. Probably going to happen later in the day today. It is forecasted to become a Category 2 hurricane that is a little bit stronger than originally anticipated. Here's the reason why. It's taking a little bit more of an easterly track, and that high pressure system that's giving us the dry air is kind of affecting this storm. And so the farther east this storm goes, the more moist and unstable air it will have to work with. And so that's why Category 2 is forecasted as it makes landfall in Louisiana late during the day on Wednesday on that. But as far as today goes, we talked about it a few minutes ago during the commercial break. Usually when I work this shift, I take a nap right when I get off and get home. And I will say, with the, pitter patter of the rain outside today, it is going to be pristine napping weather.
And I told you, as a mom of 2 kids, I will dream of that nap.
Not really an option for you, unfortunately.
But it's okay. We'll try to do fun indoor activities.
That is a good idea.
Yeah. What we're seeing right now is a pretty decent line of some showers and storms to our west. And as that cold front further approaches us from the west, it's going to bring those storms closer and closer. Now, given the timing of this cold front, it's probably not going to hit us until well after that sun goes down and we lose that daytime heating. And once we lose that daytime heating, that instability kind of goes away, and that's why our storm chance isn't really as impressive as what they're seeing out toward the west. But you notice at about 5 o'clock here, we're still seeing some mostly clear conditions at this point in time. That's why I'm saying, this afternoon and even into early this evening, if you're doing anything outside, besides an isolated shower here and there, I really think you're going to be good to go. Those storms probably not going to really enter the area until after about 7 or 8 o'clock. This is at about 8 o'clock timing this thing out. Those storms just at that point in time starting to make their way into southwest Virginia, but even then you notice they're starting to lose a little bit of steam. That's what I was just talking about. We're not going to have as much daytime heating to work with when these storms make their way into the region, so they're probably not going to be as strong as what they're going to look like over toward West Virginia, over toward Kentucky, and into Ohio as well.
Well, happy Friday to everybody out there. Hope you've enjoyed the gorgeous weather this entire weekend. If you haven't had a chance yet, it will fortunately continue for this weekend. Those warmer temperatures continuing for Saturday and Sunday as that high pressure stays in control here for the next couple of days, but it's not going to last forever. We are keeping track of some possible showers returning going into the second half of next week, and they would be welcome because the drought monitor here in the mid-Atlantic has actually increased a little bit, looking abnormally dry in just about the entire viewing region. In fact, moderately dry over toward the Lynchburg and Alta Vista area toward the central Piedmont. But over the next couple of days, not looking to see that rain chance return anytime soon, looking very minimal here throughout the weekend. So if you're wanting to do anything outside either the rest of today for high school football or Saturday or Sunday, you should be good to go. But here's the reason that we're keeping track of some possible rain chances. That jet stream is going to take a dip all the way down into the southeast part of the country, and there's a stationary front kind of out in the Atlantic Ocean, and along that front there will be a low pressure system that forms and tracks along that front starting on Tuesday and going into the second half of next week. Now, the big question is the exact track of this low, and whether it takes a little bit of a turn out into the Atlantic Ocean. If that were to happen, that would take a lot of the moisture with it and lower our rain chances here locally. But some other models have it taking a little bit of an inland turn, and what that would do is bring a lot of the moisture with it and increase our more widespread rain chances. Again, looking at the second half of next week, but even then, the speed is also a little bit in question. So whether it's Tuesday and Wednesday or Thursday and Friday next week, still yet to be determined. But here's what we're seeing right now. Got a center of high pressure parked right over the mid-Atlantic, and then this is that same stationary front I was just talking about that low is going to ride along. That's right now still parked in the Atlantic Ocean, and believe it or not, this is the same front that came through almost a week ago. That cold front that came through Saturday night, this is that same front still parked in the Atlantic Ocean right off the coast, but it's far enough away to keep our weather dry and keep it very nice for some Friday football later this evening. Temperatures at kickoff looking to stay steady in the mid-70s. Might be ever so slightly cool as things are wrapping up later tonight at 9:30 or 10 o'clock, but I don't think it's anything you have to bundle up for as those games are wrapping up. But also, if you're heading to the Blue Ridge Bee Festival on Saturday, then just know that it's going to be a lot of sunshine to go around, and you notice those morning temperatures not really all that cool, so doubt that you'll need that jacket after about 8 or 9 o'clock. Those temperatures for Bedford County probably topping out right around 80 degrees. A lot of sunshine to go around for both Saturday and Sunday. You notice that average high 81 degrees. Will be at or slightly above that here for the next couple of days before we slightly cool back down as we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And you notice that we only have about a 20 to 30% chance on those precipitation chances. Like I said, still a lot to iron out with exactly what that low does, but as we keep a close eye on that and fine tune that forecast, we'll keep you guys updated as well.
Yeah, we could use the rain.
Yes, we
that's for
absolutely
sure.
could.
So it would be nice if it would just kind of move a little bit closer.
If we could wait till Thursday.
Thursday,
as well.
yes, I know, because you're going to be live in Blacksburg on Wednesday. All right,
Exactly.
hopefully we can do that. All right, we'll be right back.